It was interesting.
I hope it was a
I
good
um
interesting.
I found myself in a situation that we discussed last week, which is if you're going somewhere and you're late, things are outside your control. Just to sit in the moment, just relax into the space. And I did that, even though it was partly my fault that I left kind of late. Um, but it was almost as though time stood still because I ended up arriving where I was going. I was like, what? How I get here so fast? Nothing was in the way. I actually got there about 20 minutes before, and I was saying, woo, look at that. So I
Very good to
practiced
hear.
that, and it was as though just time just, I don't know, either time stood still or the road cleared.
That is very good to hear because that was one of the questions I was going to ask this week in terms of which or how many of you, put into practice what was being, what we spoke about over the weeks and how did it work out for you. So that is very, very, very good to note that it worked out like that for you.
Catherine, the same thing happened to me this morning as well. I was late. I know I was late. I had to wash myself kind of thing. And when I look at the time, it was like 5 minutes before 8. I said I'll leave home 8 o'clock. But I was late. I knew I was late. When I went to get ready and everything, I was late. And then I was like, time wasn't moving for a while because I still leave home. I leave home a little later but I was ready at the time I said I would have left home, like
Hmm.
ready to go. I just decided not to leave home that time, and I still reach in time. But I was like,
Yeah,
it was
it was,
strange.
yes, strange is a good word.
Yeah, it
It
was
was
strange.
just as though, it just, everything just morph around and
Yeah, and even in being late, I was like, I am just going. I'm not feeling. I'm going with the flow. I'm not feeling to rush. I'm feeling to take my time. I'm going to take my time. I'm not going to get anxious or whatever. And it worked out.
That is very
and I
good.
even had a student I was supposed to meet on Saturday, and I was feeling a little exhausted, and I'm saying, "Hey, if she come, it will be good. But if she tell me, no." Next thing I know, I'm calling her. She say, "I can't come. I have to work. I have to work." And I'm saying, "Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus." Because I wasn't up to it. Thank you, Lord. You rest yourself, baby. Work. So be safe.
That is good. So I'm very happy to
Ouch.
hear that things, things that are being discussed are being practiced and it is working out for, well, the ones who are practicing it. So I know I asked the question earlier, but we didn't have all these people logged in, so I'm asking it again. How was everyone's week this week?
It was great.
Anybody else? Everybody had a good week then?
No,
Great.
Somebody said
Who
no.
said no?
Carla,
Okay.
Carla, what happened? What about your week wasn't great?
Carla, what?
I I am just struggling with this ego thinking. I don't know. I don't know why it's in my mind. I don't know. I'm struggling. I really struggling, and I confessing that it was really hard this week.
Okay. Well, I think that the mere fact that you could determine what it is, that is the first step. And the fact that you're struggling means that you're trying to go a different way, which is also very commendable. So, the more you try and the more you persist, the easier it will get. Because it's like you're riding a bike for the first time. When you're trying to do something different, it'll be difficult at first.
Mm-hmm.
But then eventually you would see yourself, okay, let me make a different choice. Let me make a different choice. My choice is usually A, and the more you persist, and it's all about consistency and mindfulness, eh? Because I think with all of us, when you're really trying to make a positive change, it does happen. You just feel the fight literal within yourself. So the fact that you're having a struggle means that you're trying to do something different, and with time it would become easier, you know
Yes.
Oh,
so
and
just
Carla,
keep
to
at it.
help. Oh, well, no, no, no. Oh, and to help you as well, you
Mm-hmm.
can check out the ego and humility section of the app. There's an exercise there as well, so you could check it out, give it a read, and practice the exercise there.
I definitely will. Thank you.
You're
No
welcome.
problem. And guys, tonight's topic is, well, leading from last week, attraction. And sometimes we attract things knowingly and unknowingly. So,
Anyone have any questions now regarding tonight's topic?
No, I just waiting here.
I do. I have.
Okay,
I have
so
a lot, but I'm willing to see what the platform, what's the approach of the platform before I ask.
well, I know how it goes, and hope I'm pronouncing it right. You could ask a question, and it will lead into the discussion. So you don't have to wait to
yes.
say anything. You're free to ask a question at the beginning.
Oh, thank you. Yes, you pronounce my name correctly. It's Andal, right? And I thought I know to rice Andal. It's not Andel,
Okay.
right? So thank you. With regards to attraction and positivity, I'm literally, I joined this platform because I wanted to reset my life, and I wanted to literally, to be more literal and get out of my head, right? And I started with the Dowdy segment, and it is helping.
Okay. That is good.
It
That is
is
good.
helping. I mean, although I work in a kitchen and so forth, I did little things during the week, like really made effort. Like today, I'm not going to just show on a shoot. Right? I'm going to make everything unhealthy. It really carried me through the week. And this sort of like segues into the topic tonight about attraction. And I found I felt more confident to attract what I wanted.
Okay.
I am also struggling with well, being on camera, right? And I'm also in another business group, and we have like a 10-day challenge to put on something positive with my picture. And let me tell you guys, it is very hard for me to do. It is very hard. So that is my how should I say, personal goal that I'm going to be working on in the coming weeks. And I'm happy to say that where attraction is concerned, I'm working on it. So my question is, how do you how do you attract the right people from or right people and situations from a space of zero? Because right now there's something going on work where when I started to work 3 months ago, we were making a lot of money. Yesterday and the day before, we only made $100.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, I am like literally riding high on my newfound presence, with dressing up and everything. So it's like, what? What did I do? And I'm responsible for opening the business, and then the boss comes in at 12 or later on. So, I take what I do seriously, right? I set the day I started it. So the last 2 days, mm-mm-mm-mm. So that's my question. How do you attract the right people and situations from a space of zero? And I mean no energy, no well, nothing coming in. I'm literal zero because that is actually where I'm moving on with my life. I'm coming out of a space of zero.
Good night. Does anyone want to
Hello.
try?
Good night.
Mhm.
Um, Perhaps I could start.
Mm-hmm.
Andal, I have found that gratitude is the best way to start. And many times you think you have zero, but when you sit down and break it down, I mean, I'm grateful for life. There are lots of people who didn't wake up this morning. I'm grateful for the use of all my senses. I could see, I could hear, I could taste, I could whatever all the senses are. I could walk, I could talk. I'm in good health. When you sit down and you really think about all these things, and I find it helps to write down. Because when it swirls in your head, at least for me, it swirls in my head. I don't appreciate it as much. But if I just start to write, pretty soon I find myself having 20, 30 things that I'm grateful for before I even come off the bed. Because I'm grateful for having a bed. I'm grateful for having a home. I'm grateful for having the people around me. And I find that the more that I am grateful for things, out of that, more things come out, more good things. And it's hard. It's hard. Sometimes you just feel like, you're pretending, but it's not pretending. You're just finding the things that you are grateful for, and more things to be grateful for tends to come up. So I don't know if that's helpful at all.
Yes.
Thank you, Carl. I appreciate your perspective.
You're welcome.
I would like to add on to what was just said with being grateful. So, along with gratitude, I would also say visualizing. And I liked that with gratitude, you can, the aspect of writing down what you're grateful for was added, because when you're visualizing, you can write down on papers where you want to go, what possibilities are out there for you. And when you start to visualize that, you start to become a bit more open to more positive experiences. And then you would find too that more positive things are happening for you. So that would be my contribution to that.
Okay, and thank you, Ramana.
Thank you. Thank you, Ramana.
You're welcome.
The floor is open.
Well, I am not sure how much or how helpful this would be, but for me, what
Mhm,
I always tell myself is that things are always working out.
mhm,
Regardless, be it good or be it bad, it is always working out, and it's up to you to. I mean, because it's we ourselves is who does actually determine if it's something good or if it's something bad. And if it is, it always working out for you, then to me it's always something good. Because you mentioned that you started to dress and wear shirts and different things and put an extra effort into that. So you might think that thing's not working out for you, but it's working out because regardless, you're still showing up, you're coming out, you're making sure and make the effort, to make the change. So this is just one thing to look at and say, hey, things are really working out. Right now, you're probably the money, it will come. As long as you keep looking at and you keep putting in the back of your mind, hey, things always working out for me and it's perspective. If it is you want to class it as something bad, then it will be something bad. But if it is you believe is something good and things always working out for you, then that is it. That is just what it is, and that is normally work for me. And
Yes.
that is just my part.
Thank you, Carl.
You're welcome.
And even in terms of sometimes you look at life and sometimes things, life is ebb and a flow. And if it's not flowing right now and you're in the space of an ebb, you could probably think about what things can we do to diversify the business? What can we do to improve it? What can we do to get out there more? What can we do to attract more people to it? So remember, the downtime is not really a downtime. The downtime is a time to refocus. The downtime is
Mm-hmm.
a time to think about new opportunities for growth. So it's not necessarily a negative, but it could probably be used as reflection and to refocus and what can we do different? What can we improve on? Assess where you are and then determine a way forward in terms of where what you want for the business. You want to have, well, instead of 100, you want $10,000 or whatever it is, and put these steps in place in order to achieve it. So is not necessarily negative, but you could really use the opportunity to see, what you could put in place to
So let's make this easier. Yeah?
hmm
Let's make this easier so that everyone would understand. Where does attraction begin?
yeah.
In the mind.
Yeah, your thoughts.
Attraction begins in the subconscious. It takes a directive from the heart.
hmm
Yes?
Mm-hmm.
So what you feel resonates within your subconscious and starts to pull what you want into your life. If in your conscious awareness it is incongruent with the subconscious, what will you have?
Confusion.
Exactly nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So it is up to you to ensure that your conscious awareness also resonates and vibrates with exactly the frequency that fulfills what you want to attract through your subconscious. No one says the human experience was simple. It is quite complex. So, the essence in the understanding of self, your focus should always be what you want to achieve. Don't ever try to step away from the understanding of what you want to achieve because your senses will always be aware of something different. It is up to you to control the mind and keep it in congruence with what the total you wants to achieve. That's body, mind, and soul. Being aware that the body and mind experience is your conscious awareness, and the mind and soul functions in the subconscious awareness. So, for you to attract something into your life and the understanding that there must be congruence, there must be harmony between body, mind, and soul, this is where your feelings become the driving force. So, you feel and you present yourself exactly as the feeling says. So if you have never experienced something, this is where you use your mind to imagine. There is no set way for things to go. You imagine what it would be like. In the case of Andal, you have put forth a decision that I would appear differently. It is important that even though your body appears different, your mind must also be in congruence with the body and with the soul. This is where you sit, just as someone mentioned, and you write. Because in writing, you are putting forth everything that is within the mind, and you'll be able to determine what works for you and what works against you. Because nothing about any product that we have as business owners, nothing about the product or service is as important as you and the way you are received in the perception of others. So you must be complete in harmony, and then you will achieve and attract what you want. Note achieve and attract, because what comes to your thought, as you mentioned earlier in attraction, the thought begins as an idea, and the thought is expanded upon. That thought holds just part of the seed. Attraction begins in the soil, that is the subconscious. So you plant that seed within the subconscious by knowing what you want, even when you do not know the steps. That will be presented to you. That will come to you, because the fact that the thought was manifested, not the idea, the thought behind the idea. That thought means that it is for you. What is tricky is that thought, based on your understanding, can be negative or positive in the way it is received. Not the thought, the reception. And based on how you receive, you would go forth. So you can attract into your life what you do not want, or you can attract into your life nothing when you want something, based on the fact that it was received incorrectly. It may sound challenging. It may sound difficult to understand, because it is. That is why your focus is not on trying to see how you can develop. Your focus is only what you want, and you feel it and you live it. This is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I want. When it is planted firmly in the subconscious, your life will begin to change. The environment in the world, that is you, would begin to change, so that you can receive and achieve exactly what you are trying to attract. Everyone understand?
Yes.
Good night.
Good
I would
night.
like to ask this question. Where my thoughts come from? Does it come from my mind or the higher power?
The thought is. So thought, just like the air that you breathe, you are always breathing in thoughts. Thoughts flows, and you hold on to whichever thought runs. It is the reason why you may have a thought and someone else somewhere may have the exact same thought. How you choose to manifest it from thought into your reality would be determined by your understanding. So that may be different to the other persons, but thought is. Do you understand?
Question. So thought
I,
is thought based on your life experiences.
Thought is the way that the thought comes to you, how you receive the thought. That would be based on your experiences. So, how you interpret thought. For example, you have a table before you, and if you touch the table and someone else touches the table, would you all have the same exact feeling?
No.
No.
No. And it is exactly the same with thought. Thought is the way you receive thought. That is what is determined by your experiences and supports your experience. You understand?
Yes.
So now that I have my mic issues dealt with respect to that same thing. So I was saying earlier that the mind is so quick, zing, zing, zing. By the time the thought comes to you, you in a second you already perceive it either positive or negative, and then you have to end up going back in that small window, that tiny, tiny window. Does that change the trajectory of the not the idea, the okay, does that change what could have come to you if you had received the sword differently? And if you go now and you say, okay, well, you shouldn't really think like that. This is how you could look at it this way, and you try to go now into what is a positive space. Does that also then negate what you just did with the negative way you looked at it first time around? Or is it just already done?
So, because people are so focused on defining their lives by positive and negative, things tend to fall in spaces that work against you, spaces that limit the amount you would receive, spaces that may open other doors. The focus should never be, is it positive or negative when you're dealing with thought? Put it to paper or execute what is coming based on wisdom. When you try to move thought into physical, who can remember that conversation from weeks ago? Because thought functions in the spiritual domain, the unseen, and you are trying to move thought into physical. What does it require? Anyone? You're
It,
doing it every day. What
it
does it require?
action? No?
Mm.
No one?
It's not ego, is it? I know is that there's this little, it's a something that connects both, and I'm trying to remember exactly what it
Oh,
is.
is it the mind?
The mind.
Mine.
And just as mentioned, the ego also takes precedent there. So the ego, anything that you are trying to do with your mind, the ego is a great observer.
Hmm.
So it is up to you. Then you will realize you are not your mind. You are, in fact, in control of your mind. And because you control your mind, you can create anything and you can attract exactly what you want. You see the problem there? Because we often believe that we are what we think in our mind, and that you are almost, because you are greater than your thoughts, but you are limited by your thoughts. Do you understand?
Yes.
It should be easy to understand because you are beyond your thoughts. But as mentioned earlier, your life experiences can limit the way you utilize your thinking. And if you limit your thinking, you also limit your ability to attract what you want into your life.
I
Your
see.
focus should always be this is what I want.
I see that we Carla has her hand raised. She has a question.
Sure.
Yes, I do. Just a quick one. How it is you can attract if it is you don't know what you want? Because I start to meditate and I always ask myself, what next? Carla, what next? And for nothing, Carla answered me, right? I only had one experience where I meditated and I actually got an answer, and that was crazy. And since then, I've been trying to get back to get another answer, and I'm just not getting it. So, how could you attract if it is you don't know what you want? I mean, and this is based on not trying to
When,
direct this. Hello?
quick question for Carla. When Carla meditates,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Yes. When she does meditate,
what
oh
is the experience like?
well, most times I just be trying to convince myself to just focus on my breathing or something where I could
Yes.
not mm, mm, something where is less thoughts as possible. So I would ask the question and then I would get quiet and I'll be like, okay, you're listening now, so focus on your
Yes,
breathing.
the word that you want to use is pressure.
Yeah, well, probably.
Carla pressures Carla.
Well, Carla want to answer, so and seeing that I had experienced it once and know that I could do it, so is where the answers, where the answers.
So if Carla continues to pressure Carla, Carla will receive nothing
Mm-hmm. You're right.
because it happens in your calm, quiet, still self. You, the spirit you, the soul you,
Mm-hmm.
functions in calm. So
Right.
when you calm that aspect of your mind and function in calm, you will receive all the answers necessary. You will know exactly what you want.
Mm-hmm. So I've been too hasty.
What happens to many is that many try to direct the subconscious and the meditation and the spiritual understanding of themselves based on their physical understanding. Is that so?
Yes. Well, this is why I can't. That's
For
probably
many.
why I can't get no answers, because I tell myself this cannot be it, because it's my thoughts and it didn't come as fluid as the first time when I got the answer. So I
And do
know
you
is
recall
uh-huh.
the glue? Do you remember that conversation of the
Y-
glue?
Yes.
yes.
So, what you are doing is instead of recognizing that these parts are together, you are functioning mainly from the mind and the physical body. So the physical body is quiet because the mind is saying, be quiet, and the mind is trying to access spiritual understanding without the key, which is the soul.
Mm-hmm.
So there must
I,
be calm.
I understand.
You will receive all the answers and then you will know what you want. Because the key part in attraction is you must know what you want. And that begins, if you recall, in the subconscious, because the subconscious already knows what is for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
So, because your subconscious awareness is not present in your meditation, you would not receive the answer. And until it happens again, then you will receive what you're looking for. This is the reason why you write. Because when you write the things that you want, you may write one thing today, and
Mm-hmm.
then as you get deeper into the thinking process and you access the realm of the subconscious, you will change what you have written on the paper because that only satisfies one aspect of your being. And it is easier to receive things from the physical that have no benefit to you. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Anyone? I am
yeah.
certain everyone can understand that.
Well, in that last point that you made, there was something that I want. There is something that I want. And I sat down and I drew it out and I drew it out to scale. I spent hours on that thing. I looked and looked and I researched and I looked and I put it in my little press space and every day I looked at it. And then one day I sat down and I said, but this whole thing that you want there, this is based on scarcity. This whole thing is based on scarcity. This is based on your interpretation of what you think you could get in based on the resources you could access. Take
Life
this down,
experience.
life ex take it down and draw what you really want and put that and let it come to you however it will come, but that is what you want. So the question I was going to ask earlier is there ever a time when you truly do not know what you want, or you actually know deep down inside what you want, but you put limitations on it because you think you might not be able to get it, or you don't deserve it, or you might not, people will laugh at you. So you convince yourself that you don't know what you want, but deep down inside, you really, really know what you want, and you're just afraid to put it forward because of various reasons.
Where is the question?
And I was, no, it just it was like a speech.
That was a statement because that is what it is. The lack of congruence between the understanding of who you are and what you want, the disharmony between body, mind, and soul, the disharmony between your conscious awareness and your subconscious. What people tend to do is that we try to draw it out to try to define the space that the subconscious should function in because we have received a greater understanding and a greater awareness of self. Still, that does not matter because that in itself is way more textured and defined than common understanding. So your focus should always remain what you want. And what you want would always come as a thought. But you must sift through the riffraff. You must sift through to define exactly what you want so that you would know this is for my enjoyment, this is for my work, This is for my love. This is for, this is for, this is for. And then as you go forward, you will realize there is no, this is for my love, this is for my work, this is for my enjoyment, because it is only one. Everything that you want, truly want, that is not in the domain of your ego, is always to your benefit in every area of your life. In every area. This is why you take your pen, take your paper, write, write, sit in meditation, allow your thought to flow through you. The thought, it comes because you hold it. But even before your thought, there is what is written upon your soul. Access it through meditation, access it through deep, deep reflection, access it in your understanding of self, so that you can go forward with what you are seeking to attract. This conversation was based off of Andal, decided upon weeks before, because Andal has made a decision to move forward. The understanding of what is required is not there. All that is required of Andal is that you must know, this is what I want, and define what you want. Nothing else is important. You are already dressing the path for where you would like to be. So define what you want. What you want would always be based around the path that is for you. So if your definition of what I want is not wealth, is not rich, is not words like that. It is to be the best that you can be, and to have within your conscious, subconscious, complete awareness, every tool and resource required at your abundance, so that you can be more to others. When people sit to define, this is what I want and this is what I want, it is often based on, this is for my love, this is for my enjoyment, this is for me, this portion I will give to someone else. Is this sounding familiar? Then you find difficulty in what you are trying to attract. Try it another way. Do you understand?
Hmm.
So is it that you should be looking for, I mean, ultimately it's like joy, peace, like love. So ultimately that's what you should be searching for, and that's kind of like universal for everything.
That is an inherent part of you. However, in your life, you have already made decisions based on what you would like to experience. Whether that experience is a large 30-bedroom house, the latest device, the biggest car, 4 boats, it is okay and it is well with you. You can set that forth as your definition of the life you seek to experience enjoyment from. You follow?
Yes.
So when you set out that this is my goal, it is only a part of the enjoyment. So do not do as many do, where they believe there is a separation between joy and enjoyment and what they consider to be functioning from the subconscious and defining the physical experience. It is still one. So if you choose that every week I would like to earn $100,000, why is the important aspect of your understanding of why it will be attracted to you. For often we write $100,000 because we believe. Anyone want to say?
Money will make us happy.
What is the belief?
Money make us happy.
Money make us happy.
We believe we
Is
need
that so?
money to get things.
You believe we need money to get things. What else?
Solve all your problems.
Money solves all the problems. What else? There are so many others. And the truth still remains within you. Everything that you seek is already there. It is only for you to access. And this is easier to happen when you understand that there must be congruence between your subconscious and your conscious awareness. Money defines me. Money defines everything. Money defines. This is based off of your understanding from the perspective of the ego. Your understanding with regards to money is that money is a tool for you to find enjoyment. If it is a tool, does it define you?
No.
You are the one who cast. Understand what is being said. You are the one who cast the definition for money into your world. And if you interpret money based on lack or based on the core of your happiness, based on who you think you are, then money may stay away, money may come and go, or money may never pass a particular level. All based on what you choose to be your experience. Do you understand? So a free mind, again, a free mind and an open mind who is not defined by self-imposed limitations knows that money is merely a tool and you are greater than money, so you redefine money into your existence. Do you follow?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How do you redefine money?
Don't put a
How do you redefine
limitation.
husband, wife?
Hmm.
How do you redefine the things that you want, the people where you want to go? So it does not go beyond that.
I think we have the tendency to limit our self in terms of, oh, this is all I can afford because of my current situation. And like you said, not understand that it's limitless, it's endless. You know, the mind is what kind of keep us where we are, like entrapped in what we where we think we are. But if we go outside of the mind and think outside of the norm and think outside of what we was taught for so long, then it's endless.
And that it is. Because in your world, in the world of everyone here and beyond, you have made the definitions. So you have said, this is what I know. I know that money will define me. I know that this person in my life will define me. And this is not so. Because whose world is it? Your world. So you must redefine your understanding. Engage in the truth to understand this is me. And when you do this, everything yields to you. So you will know exactly what must be done to achieve the tools that will propel and sustain your enjoyment of life. Do you understand?
Yes.
It is never about the thing or the people, the place where you want to go, what you think you need to do. It is never about the external. It is always what is happening within that balance and understanding between the subconscious, bringing things into your world. Because that is what it is. Subconscious bringing things into your world. Your subconscious cannot bring something else into someone else's world. Do you understand this?
Yeah, so I have a question. So when they say, you know, they always tell you, oh,
Do you
pray for your
understand?
Yes, I understand, but I have a question. You know, you're taught to, oh, I need to pray for my child because I want this for my child and I want that for my child. So that doesn't work.
So let's discuss this one because it is a, what is it? A doozy. When you pray, who hears?
Everything. God hears the
The
universe.
You hear.
Oh,
Don't go beyond. You hear. Who are you?
I am
Then
one.
that other answer would come in.
One with everything.
The universe is in you, isn't it?
Yeah.
One with everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when you pray, you are praying through you to the greater. Is that so?
Yes.
So when you pray for your child, do you have a different understanding?
I don't rephrase that. When you pray for a child, do you have a different understanding
Do you have a different understanding?
of who you are or of what you asking
That
for?
you are praying for the child, you are praying through you to greater,
Yes.
or this is for everyone. You are praying to the external that is without you for change.
Yes.
Yes. And if you can understand this, you would understand many things in life when you pray for something. Because prayer in itself, and that is a entire discussion way beyond 1 hour.
Mm-hmm.
Prayer in itself is the vibration that you set forth, you define prayer, you set forth based on the harmony that is your subconscious awareness. Do you follow?
Yes. So meditation in itself is prayer or form of
Everything you
prayer.
do
It's
should
prayer.
be a form of prayer.
Yeah. Okay.
Everything you do. But that is a discussion for another day. And as we speak of discussions for another day, why not go deeper with your favorite topic? Money.
Money.
So we discuss money next week.
Mm.
Do you have any questions? Or do you understand how the essence of attraction? Because attraction for everyone is housed in the individual subconscious reason. And if you want to attract into your life whatever you define for your enjoyment of life, regardless if it is things, people, where you want to go, it is never about money. Your limit in life is belief that money will define exactly what you want. But it is not, do you want the money or the thing?
The thing.
Thing.
Always the thing. But you believe that it can only come through money.
Mhm.
One limit already. Because the idea has come, the thought has manifested, and you have decided that it must fit in this box. Is that so?
Yeah.
True.
So I
You
I
want
have
someone in your life, they must fit in this box.
a okay.
Is that so?
Yeah, I guess.
And that box is defined by your mind and physical only. Is that so?
Yeah.
Because when you get into the realm of the soul and the spirit and the subconscious, you will realize that what you have defined may not be what you truly want. You need not say if it is so or not, for that it is.
Can you bring that into terms with of relationships? I know what I like. There's certain things I know what I want in a relationship. How is it that I don't know what I want? When they're talking
You
about
know what you want based on the glue,
mm,
the mind and the physical. This is what I believe my life is. In the subconscious, there is something else happening.
Ah,
So, for anyone who is seeking more, something different, something greater, look at your definitions. For you have limited what you can attract based on what you have defined it as. And what you are defining must be harmonious with your subconscious, because it is the subconscious that attracts it into your reality. Do you understand?
Yeah, I have a. So does that mean like certain people, they talk in terms of relationship, could accept? So you just have to know what qualities works for you, or what works for you. It's not what works for everyone.
You just have to know what you want.
Mm.
And the only way to know what you truly want is you must spend time
With yourself.
so that the mind is seated well between the soul and the body.
Mm.
Not the mind is being pulled by the body and the life experiences, how things appear to be based on your perception, without the definition that you, the true you, knows that you want in your life. Do you
Mm.
understand this?
Yes.
Try it and experience a different life.
So is it like copping out when you you know what you want, but you believe that you
When
might
you think
not,
you know what you want.
but you something about it says maybe you can't get it, and so you blame it on God. You see, I
Let
leave
us
it to
make it
God.
easy. For 5 minutes, we will make it easy and then we will say good evening. If you have friends and your friends like doubles, doubles, your friends like doubles with
Slight pepper.
2 cups of roast pepper. Yes?
Slight.
How would that taste?
Ah, trouble.
It
Hot,
depends on
yes?
who eating it.
So it is for you. Your friends like doubles with 2 cups of roast pepper. So they like a little doubles with their pepper, but they are your friends. Do you understand?
Yes.
And you go with them, and your understanding says these people here have all the qualities that I like to associate with. And they too are eating this doubles with 2 cups of roast pepper. And still, with your friends, there are people there who you would like to aspire to be in your perception at the same level. You would like to be at the same level based on your perception. What would stop you from eating doubles with 2 cups of roast pepper?
Mm,
Too hot for me,
yeah,
and I
too
don't
hard
like
for
that
me.
much pepper.
Knowing what you want for yourself.
Yeah, I not eating that much
Knowing
pepper.
what you want. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand? It sounds easy with doubles, with 2 cups of roast pepper. Now remove the doubles and the 2 cups of roast pepper and look upon the life that you are living and the friends that you have and the people who are around you who are not your friend, but you look up to them because they are at a level that you would like to achieve something similar. When they do certain things, how often do you say, I will go that direction?
Mm.
Anyone?
Uh-huh. The same direction as they have gone, or you go in a different direction?
How often would you go in the direction they have gone?
Anyone?
Hmm.
It depends on what
Hell
they're
no.
doing.
Hell no.
Some things would stop me.
How
Yeah,
And
often, when your friends go this direction,
You go.
how often would you go that direction?
Therein lies
sometimes,
the answer.
sometimes, depending on what it is.
depending on what I think is right for me.
The answer would always be it depends. That's correct. The answer would always be it depends, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
And there goes the question again of right and wrong. Is that so? It's
Uh-huh.
what is best for you. Often, because you live in a world and your world exists in that world, and you live in society, and society says this is where it goes for many. And then in life, many cannot attract what works for them, and they attract what does not work for them, and they attract nothing in certain instances because they have never taken the time to say, I do not want any doubles. Do you understand?